Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on this episode, what I wanted to do was actually find a nice spot of land on my grassland and build up a base, because that was one of the viewer requests. But I've actually been kind of lost out here, and I haven't been able to find my way back for, I would say, a good hour and a half. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys me roaming around the desert. Now, there is a new patch coming out in a few days from what I hear, and it's going to be pretty big. There's going to do a fair amount of changes. So if that is the case, then I probably will at some point restart the game over again like I normally do every so often, just because they have made a few changes. They made it where now there's, I believe it used to be like 3 base bosses or 4 bases when you first start, and now it's going to be on the number of like 10 or 12 or something like that. So there's going to be more bases for me to find right off the bat, and that's pretty big for me because on this playthrough I still have not found a shield bubble or a battery or quite a few of the necessary things to make a lot of these bots viable. And unfortunately, without those things, a lot of the smaller like venture bots and the real cool fast designs that I really enjoy making just don't work because they die so quickly without that protection. And try as I might, we still have not found those pieces. And yeah, if you get the right pieces you can make those, but I haven't been able to do that either. And so I think the resources are far less common than they used to be, almost to the point where I have a very look at those, you can see them in the fight in the background. I was just thinking earlier, guys, not to change the subject, but I was just thinking earlier when I was roaming around out here, and you can hear the wind howling in the background, and you can just see a bot every so often just going about their own business, and you go off in another direction so that you don't get attacked by them. There's a lot of bots out there. I was just thinking like how hopeless it feels to be in like this world where everybody is trying to kill everybody else, and all you're trying to do is make a living and stay alive. And it's just like, wow, what had to have happened for the culture to degrade to that point, right? Like, you're on another planet, you're working for a corporation, and yet resources are so scarce that you're not just fighting like planet to planet, you're fighting for like yards and yards on the surface of each one of those planets. That's an incredibly dense and incredibly populated universe that would be fighting over resources to that extent that they're willing to like just blow each other up, on sight. Of course, it is just a video game, but as any of you guys who watch any of my Let's Plays know, I like to delve into like the whole backstory. Does it make sense? If it makes sense, to what extreme do you have to go to make it that way? And this one, now that I'm thinking about it, is pretty unlikely. I mean, it makes for a great game, don't get me wrong, but the storyline is kind of like, in what universe would you ever have that kind of population? I guess it's possible if you look at the world now. I mean, I'm sure somebody thought back, hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, like at what point would the world ever get overpopulated? And it's like we're already reaching that point to some extent. So I don't know. I guess, like I said, it is a possibility in the future to get to that point, but man, it's crazy to think about it because that is a lot of people. And the tech is obviously really easy to make stuff. I mean, it's just, you find it all over the place, and even like the lowly brand new guy who doesn't obviously have that much money on him, even he's able to buy a halfway decent tech that can still cause your guy enormous amounts of damage if you're not careful. Oh crap, this guy's gonna be a quick one. There's too many hills. There we go, kill him. Oh, back up. Oh man, did we get anything out of that? There is a weapon there that we can pick up. And yeah, there's 2 weapons we can pick up. Nice. Haven't got one of these in a while. No, that's just a tire. And as you can see, guys, I do have 2 different kinds of lights here. Actually, that's when I started the video because I had found this right here. This is something new I had never had before. It's a Geocore hazard light. These babies are nice and cheap and let everyone around know where your tech is to avoid workplace accidents. So if I move this one, you can kind of see how much light. As you can see, this one's not on, so you can't see any illumination. This is all coming from this one illumination right here. Now, if I move that, you can see just how dark that gets. That is just from one light. Day and night. That is amazing. So you could have a whole bunch of these little tiny ones, And yeah, eventually you could, you know, brighten it up a little bit, but you'd have to have a lot of them. They had to be taking up a lot of space. Or you could just have one or two of these. I think one is usually, in my opinion, probably more than enough. But if you want it to be just bright as day, go ahead and have like 3 or 4 of those suckers, because that would be amazing to see. But I mean, this is nice. Now, if you have a few places, I don't think we've gotten this war yet. Let's check this out. Actually, let's see what it's called first. Let's see, can we get it? We've gotten that before, and I kind of have my system set up so that it refines as much as it can, and then it sells it off almost immediately, unless it can be made into something. Oh, and that can be made into something. Oh, that's cool. We finally got another radar unit. Nice. Okay, we'll get a little bit more of that. Maybe they can make, you know, 2 or 3 of those pieces into something. Let's see, is it going to be? Actually, it's going to be made into something. Ah, okay, there we go. So there's quite a bit of this stuff out here. There wasn't a lot of it at the last place I was at, and that was kind of unfortunate. You know, I guess maybe there's certain places out here that are, you know, richer in certain deposits than others. Let's go ahead and pick this stuff up. This is stuff I can play around with. Finally, now that I found some resources. Let's come over here and grab some more of this white resource. This is the one that you kind of want the most. Like, this is the one that, as far as I know, the blocks that I have on my recipe list, this is the one that they want. I'm sure there's some really good stuff out there that, you know, some of the other stuff wants, but from what I remember, it's almost always this, and then, like, the other materials. So, like, you use one of these. In fact, let me stop selling. Probably should have done that earlier. We move these out of the way so they don't sell, and that way I can kind of experiment, because there's quite a bit of it here. And I haven't really got to play around with as much as I want. Now, it seems like there's 2 different colors over here, so that's going to be interesting. Now, if I wanted to, the best way actually to do this, because I have the bot for it, would be to simply back up, because I have these diamond spikes on there. And as you can see, they do tremendous amounts of damage when used the right way. But against another bot, usually they will either be destroyed, or most of your bot will be destroyed by the time you ram somebody with that. And for the most part, I go against bots that are a lot quicker than me. So even being able to catch up with them, let alone actually ram them, is something that's not really doable. At least in my opinion. Maybe one of you guys out there would be like, no, that's easy to do. Because I know a lot of you guys are far, far better at this game than I am. I am no means an expert, that's for sure. And a lot of the time, I am just kind of winging it and going through. That is the way I am playing this game. Now, I can do a lot of research. I've never been the kind of gamer that like to do that. You know, if I have the time to play, because I don't always have a lot of time. If I got time to play, I want to be on the game and playing. Now, some of you guys have jobs where you can kind of sit there and, you know, look stuff up while you're at work and things of that sort. I wish that, I mean, that would be cool if I could do that. I'd probably look things up a lot more than I do now, but as it stands, when I'm at work, I don't have time to do that. So, let's see, can we move some stuff around? I have a feel. Oh, we made a weapon. Nice. We need to make like 1,000 times more of those. Let's see if it will do it for us. Yep, there it goes right there. There's another one. So let's put that down. Let's see what's he gonna make for us this time. You know, I don't know if there's a way to do it. Maybe they will, you know, put it in there eventually. But right now, it seems kind of hard to put the appropriate resources in there and get the very specific item that you want if, you know, it uses multiple blocks. And it'd be nice to be able to click on it and say, make weapons. And if you have the resources to make the weapon, it goes ahead and makes it for you. Rather than kind of hoping that the right resources find their way in there in the right mixture and you get the item that you actually want. Because, I don't know, I mean, that seems kind of random, and I guess you could do it. It would just be more work and a little bit more difficult than you really should have to do. Like, you should be... Oh, crap. Not one of these guys? No. I don't really want to fight one. Let's go ahead and move this, and this is going to happen right over here, so we're going to get the crap out of here. If I can find a way out. Okay, this looks like the shortest or the least steep. You know, I could fight the guy, but the invaders are pretty freaking tough. And I don't want to risk losing, like, everything that we have. Although, I think it's going to happen regardless, because this guy's over here now. Ah, crap. Why is it I always get attacked at the same time I get an invader? Like, I never get one or the other. I always get both. There we go. Now you're dead. Let's turn around, make sure if he does come towards us, we're at least facing with our good side. He actually doesn't look like he's coming at us, so what do you think, guys? Should we go over there and try it? Might as well. I mean, we didn't lose too much life. Let's put these down here. See if it'll make us another weapon real quick. Nope, did not. I don't know. He could be stuck, or he could just be, oh, man, look at that, guys. They used to always fire their weapons, but I believe now they only do it when you get close enough, or maybe I was just too far to be able to see it. If I can get this just right, I might be able to hit him from here. I don't know if my weapons will go that far, though. Yeah, I don't think they are. Because even a few of them should be hitting him. Now, what we really want to do is knock his wheels off. If we can knock his wheels off, he's going to be a lot easier to kill because he's not going to be able to move around. And we really just don't want to get in front of the guy or behind him because you can see that's where he has all his weapons. If I can inch towards him, there we go. Pick up the wheels. I really would like to keep those wheels, but at this point, I'd be happy just to not die. So we're going to go right down to the center. You know, it'd actually be really cool if we can take the center out and destroy his main bot. We can get all the weapons that are on either side because they're not getting damaged at all right now. Come on, kill him already. Where is his bot? Like, it has to be in the center. That's where they always put it. But it doesn't look like it's actually targeting anything. Like, it's just shooting randomly in there. But again, if I can get all those weapons, I'd still be happy. So I'd be more than fine splitting this thing down the center and then going in there for the kill. At least getting half of it. Because as soon as it splits it in half, the half that's not connected to the main bot will become inactive. And so I think that's what we're doing right here. One or two more pieces should go ahead and... Oh, and great! Another bot came over here to join. Although he doesn't have very many weapons, and now he's getting hit by his own guy. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my god. Let's help him out. Because he can move at least, and I don't like that. So can we get him? A little bit there. Ah, there's a third guy. Holy crap, where are these guys coming from? Okay, now I'm going to come over here, see if I can get some of these weapons. Because when he explodes, I don't want to miss anything just because I didn't come over here fast enough. Because the enemy is coming over here. There's another guy there. And I could kill that guy off as well, but maybe they will finish each other off. And... oh, look at that right there. You can see him right there on the ground. Literally right there in front of me. Let's see if we can hit him. Nope. Let me back up a little bit. Oh, man, come on. Is there more than one? There's probably more than one, but you can see it. Yeah, it's aiming at a different one right there in the front. Now let's see if we hit the one in the back. No, is there a third? There we go. Holy crap. That destroyed quite a bit more than I would prefer to see destroyed. But man, look at all these weapons. Oh, this is exactly what we needed. Yes. Okay, put this on right. Man, we are going to fire so many weapons. It's going to be crazy. I actually should put some over here on the side just to give it a nice, you know, even coverage. Because that's what you kind of want to do. If you got the resources, you got the weapons, put it all the way around your bot. Because in the end, you just never know what side they're going to come from. And for me, they always tend to favor the side that's the weakest. So there might be something to that. They might have programming in there that lets them know that, hey, this side is probably a little safer to attack because they hadn't put any weapons on there. They always charge from the front. The only thing that kind of throws them off that is considered a weapon but doesn't you know, register with me as a weapon really are like the spikes and things of that sort, because yeah, you can damage people with them, and so the enemy will see that and be like, okay, maybe I should avoid that side, because when I put them on like the back and stuff, they tend to leave my bot alone back there a little bit more often than they normally do. And of course, the placement of your actual main cab is very, very important because they're attracted to that. That is what they're aiming after. And they always know exactly where it's at. And that's the kind of a little unfair. Like, they should have to look for it just like you have to look for theirs. But they don't. So keep that in mind. Like, if you put it at the rear of your bot thinking that, oh, you know, they're going to have to go all the way around my bot to get to that. Well, that's true. They will have to circle your bot, but they know right off the bat where it is. So it's not like that big of a deal, especially since most of the time they're so much faster than we can ever hope to be. In fact, we got all these blocks here. You guys need to keep making stuff. I'm hoping that I can get some more of those weapons, but it doesn't seem like it wants to make them for me. And I could force it, but that's what I was getting at earlier, is that's a lot of work when I have plenty of other stuff over here I need to pick up as well. What is this? Another light, maybe? Yeah, that is a different kind of light. A geocore small floodlight. Continue work deep into the night with floodlights. I think I'm going to put that on the front to see what that looks like. Actually, let's put it up here. It looks kind of cool, though. I like that. That's kind of like industrial strength, you know, if you're going to make like a crane operating thing. And our bot's kind of coming out looking like that. I mean, we're putting some of these gray materials on there. I think that actually helps highlight the gray, you know, like the weapons and things. So let's see, where do I want to put this? I kind of like the size we have. I don't really want to get any bigger than what we are, but I'm trying to save up blocks so that when we get to the point where I can, you know, settle down and put down a base, I have all the blocks to do that. Because I forgot what the YouTuber's name was, and I do apologize, guys, and I will put it there when I remember, when I check the message board later. But they wanted me to build a base, because I hadn't seen anybody doing it, basically, where you use blocks, just regular blocks with weapons on top, and you build a wall around it. Now, I've actually done this on one of my other Let's Plays on an earlier patch, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it helped, but at the time, it wasn't something you really needed to do. Like, it wasn't, you weren't getting attacked left and right like I am in this one. And somebody else was letting me know that they haven't been getting attacked like I've been getting attacked. They have actually roamed around quite a bit outside, and in the end, you know, they spend like half an hour to 45 minutes, you know, looking for something to fight, and nothing would spawn for them. Whereas for me, I get one like every 10 seconds. So the only thing I can say to that would be, maybe you started that game on an earlier patch than I did, and because when you start the game and you continue off of it, when they come out with a new patch, it's not the same game. Like, it is, but it isn't. It has different changes to it that will affect the new game but won't affect the old one, if you guys understand that. So you do have to consider that. You do have to realize that in the end you may decide that you would prefer to continue on with that one rather than start over on the new one and get the new changes, because some of the new changes are not always good. Like the fact that the battles are taking so much more effort to actually, you know, fend off, I guess that's good in a way, but at the same token, it does take away from the time I have to devote to other things that I greatly enjoy as well. So I don't know, like, you just have to decide that for yourself. But at some point you have to upgrade, you know, and when you do, or when you have to restart, because you're going to get to the end, you're going to be like, oh, they came out with a new patch and it's supposed to do this and this and this, upgrade the graphics, and you're like, you really want to see that, but the old game that you have will not take those changes. So yeah, it's just going to be one of those things that every so often all of us have to do. But I do it a little bit more often just so that I can see some of the new changes, especially the bigger ones, and show some of you guys, because I do realize, you know, most people will not want to leave their game once they get it going. And so I kind of do things for you guys that I know you won't want to do yourself, because it's difficult to leave like all that work behind and be like, you know, let's just start over, because I hate doing it, really. I really want to test out the plane, and I want to, you know, build some really big bots and really push the graphical engine to its absolute limit and see what it's capable of doing. And I haven't really been able to do that. I haven't really been able to mess around with some of the more advanced functions as far as like research on, you know, what blocks make what, because by the time I get to that stage, they've already come out with like 4 new patches. And then I sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta start over to show you guys what's new on the new patches. And ooh, we finally made something new. Let's see, that is a GSO mini drill. What do you guys think? Should I take my my diamond bits off and use the GSO mini drill? Oh my god, that would just be horrible. Like, even with an entire row of these things, 4 of them right here, it still wouldn't equal the power I get out of these diamond drill bits. I mean, they're freaking strong beyond belief. I've never seen anything like that before, where there's just so much more capability out of them. I mean, I guess if you look, oh, we even made a light here. Well, we don't really need that. I wonder why it's just dumping it on the ground as soon as it's gotten it. Like, it just dumps it right there next to it. It's nice, because then they can make something else, but It's just kind of weird because I hadn't done that before. Let's see, what are they making now? Some more lights? No, we don't want that either. And I do need to sell a little bit every once in a while, but, you know, I'm having fun just seeing what it makes because, like I said before, there was a long period there where I was trying to make stuff, and I just did not have the resources to do it. So, and I probably should stop. Yeah, I think I'm going to let that sit there, and then I'm going to rearrange the front, and I do need to heal up as well. But no, I'm going to keep going on the level, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to go and see if I can find some more resources, some different kinds, now that I have a decent supply of these right here, these plume bite. And so I think that's really going to be the best bet for me to be able to experiment with that a little bit more because, like I said, I really want to do that before the next patch, and from what I hear, it's coming out pretty soon. So let's move up a little bit. Now I can just move this thing around, and that's exactly what I have been doing, rather than take the time to try to position my bot just right all the way around it. But what I found is that actually takes a little bit longer if you're a little bit better at, you know, handling. And this thing is pretty easy to handle for the most part. I mean, we're pretty well balanced. The only time that I felt a little bit off balance now is after putting on all these new blocks. I mean, now I feel a little bit off balance in the back, but before then, I think it had just the right size and everything else was just perfect because I never ran into any issues other than if you stop directly on a really tall peak. But I mean, that's kind of common sense that you should know by now, is not to do that with any size bot. What are we gonna do here? I guess, you know what we could do. Let's put these down here. Chances are they're not gonna hit too many people because they're pretty high up. But if we go against a pretty strong enemy, that could definitely come in handy, I guess, maybe. So let's move this down here to protect these guys because they're a little weaker than the other blocks. I almost want to put these things on the top, but if I do that, I won't be able to put my weapons up here. And the only reason I have it right here on this cab is because that's where the main guy is. That's where my main cab is. And I know I must have went in a completely wrong direction because I have no clue where my my main base was when I first started. I could go back and look at the direction on there if I was going north or south or whatever and figure out that way, but I'm having too much fun just kind of going off in my own direction and seeing what I find. I wish that they would put stuff out here, but I haven't found any blocks to pick up other than from the enemy in a very, very long time. In fact, I think all of them are right around where you start, and it kind of seems like a shame if you're going to make it where it's an unlimited, you know, field that you can go off and explore in every direction for as long as you want. Then at some point you want to put stuff out there, even if it's really far and few in between, for the fact that if you get the airplane, you can go really, really far, really quickly, and then you can actually go off and explore stuff. So, and that lag I am getting right there is because I have so many items that haven't been processed yet. Let's put this here. In fact, we forgot to look in the front. Look how much light this little sucker is giving off. That is not bad. That is actually pretty nice for one little light. Now, if you put, I don't know, man, let's see, 3, maybe 4 of those guys down here, I think you would be pretty good. Now, if I put this behind these, will it shine through? It sure will. So I could have an entire second row of lights behind my towers, or I could put mortars back there, or share the space with the two. I don't know if it gives off as much light as this thing, though. This thing up here gives off so much light. I think it's just almost overpowering, but in a good way. Like, you want that much light. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. Nice. Okay, that's not too bad. That should be weight-wise, should be fine. And I could do the same thing on this side over here. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Now, I am going to go ahead and start... you know what? I don't really want to sell... Yeah, we're just going to move some of these blocks. And then we'll end the episode here after they've made everything. Because I do want to sell, but I want to make sure... Oh, great. Let's put that back. I want to make sure that I see everything possible in my recipe, at least for the stuff that I have. And, you know, if I sell those resources, it's going to be the same thing as if I just make it. So there might be a few things in here that could possibly be made that I haven't seen. I doubt it. I think we're going to find most of the same stuff we've already been finding. And maybe a few weapons if we get lucky. But that's pretty much all I need. Like, I don't need any of this other junk. If I can get a few weapons out of it, I'll be happy. These lights, they're really easy to make once you get the materials for it. Let's toss this out of here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to move this stuff up. Here we go. Put that there, and we're going to sell everything else that we got. And I do wish I had a recycler. That would be pretty nice. A recycler allows you to throw items that you have made back in and get the ingredients for it. This really allows you to take advantage of new resources you find, as in you can sit there and make everything to your heart's content. You get anything extra, that's fine. You throw it on the ground, and then later on you recycle it or something along those lines. If you have a spot on the side where you can recycle, that's even better. But let's see. I think the front is good. We could use a few more weapons, and I do need to heal up. But the sun has not come out just yet. So I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to leave those comments down below, because I love hearing back from you guys. I love your tips and all the suggestions that you have. And I will be trying to do a few more things with these this base bot before we play the next patch. So if you have any ideas that you want to see me do before we get to that point, before we start over again, make sure to leave those down, and I'll get to them as fast as I can, guys. So thanks again for watching, and I will catch you next time.